Hi guys, welcome to your daily workout. Now this power workout, we're gonna be doing a lot of abdominal and glute work. So if you have a set of 3-pound or 5-pound hand weights, you're gonna need those, and also a loop band. So once you're ready, let's begin standing. And we're gonna begin with our feet about as wide as your mat, so the outside edges of your feet are parallel. Starting with the foundation training integrated hinges. Thumbs on the ribs, pinky to pelvis, elbows wide to the side. Weight goes back into the heels, thighs rotate inwards. Think you've got one foot on the boat, one foot on the dock. Squeeze the boat and the dock together. Chin up, chest up, find some length into your neck. Here we go. Hips go back, arms go forward. Use your adductors, pull yourself right back up. As always, make sure that you're not clenching your glutes, but it's your inner thighs that help you with the movement. Let your gaze travel down the wall to the front of the mat, then right up again as you look at the horizon. Actively pulling back from your hips and pulling up and in through your inner thighs. One more. Right into woodpecker, let's step the right leg forward, left leg back. 3 points of contact on the front foot, outside edge of your front foot parallel. Slight lift of your back heel up, check in, make sure that that outside of the foot's parallel as well. Bend a little more into the front knee. As the hip goes back, the arms go forward and come back to your start. 8 hinges. Thinking of your knee staying fixed in space as your hip pulls up and away from that knee. Focus on length and strength. 2 more. Last one. Swapping sides, left leg forward, outside edge of the foot parallel, right leg back, hip distance apart, long walking stride. Load into the front leg, chin up, chest up, lengthen the base of the neck. Start the hinge. Priming the glute and the hamstring for work. And reminding your core muscles, especially your abdominal muscles, to hold you up in space, not pull you down. Trying to coordinate every movement with the breath. One more. Now, as if you had a jump rope, or if you even have one, you're welcome to. 30 seconds. Little springs underneath your feet. Soft landing with your feet. And keep the action going of your arms. Now, if jumping isn't in your practice today, you can walk it, jog it. Coming down onto all fours, let's go right into your cat stretch. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. On the breath out, flex the spine, looking toward your thighs. On your inhale, find a baby extension, lift the heart and the chest. Initiating the action from your tailbone. Then the shoulders lastly through your head. Then the heat through the abdominals. Option 2. You're welcome to curl your toes under, float your knees up off the mat. So as you flex up, the knees come to a hover. As you return down to a little extension, you lift the heart and the chest. We scoop, float, lower, and extend. Last 2. Keeping the abdominals engaged. And allowing your head to follow whatever happens with your mid-back. From there, you're going to begin by reaching the left leg straight out to the side. Make sure your right hand lines up with your right knee. Like a windmill, you're going to reach the left hand up, and let's thread the needle. Scoop, and return. Think of gaining a lot of energy into the front of the chest as your arm comes up. Finding the length of the inner thigh on the left leg. And we'll go 4 more. Feeling your thoracic spine get some good length and movement as we rotate. Uncurl as we lift up. Returning back to the center. Take the knee in and let's do the other side. So this time take the right leg out to the side. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling. Thread the needle. Making sure that the left hand pretty much lines up with your left knee that's on the floor. Always allowing your head to follow whatever happens to your mid-back. Keeping a long neck alignment. You're doing great, guys. 2 more. Rotate it through for the stretch. Uncurl and unwind. Coming down onto your back, setting up for your foundation training's anchored bridge. Knees are bent, so your toes could just barely touch the floor when you walk them out. Flex the ankles, half sphere tension hands to the mat, widen the shoulders, and begin to pull the hips and heels towards each other. Option to float the pelvis from the floor. Option to travel the hands up. Option to reach overhead. Focusing on elevating the ribs and maintaining the anchor of the legs. Think of power into your hamstrings. Expansion into your ribs. Engagement into the abdominals. Length from your ribs to your pelvis. Reach the arms to the ceiling if they're not already. Lower the hips to the mat. Soften the anchor, scale a 1 to 10 to maybe a 4, and start your arm scissors. Now feel all of your ribs maintaining contact with the mat as one arm goes overhead and the other arm comes right down beside you. Interlace the fingers, support the weight of your head with your hands, and right into 8 abdominal preps. Flexing the torso up, lengthening the spine right back down. Maintaining the pelvis in neutral as we anchor the legs, and breathe in again to return. Maintaining a subtle space between your low back and your mat throughout. Encouraging all of your ribs to stay on the mat every time you come down. Two more to go. And let's keep your last one lifted. The right leg's going to come to a tabletop position, and let's pass the legs, tapping down with the opposite heel. Keep supporting the weight of your head with your hands. Hold both legs up. Reach the hands by your hips, starting your 100. Pumping the arms for 5. And straightening the legs for 5. As always, if it's too much on the neck, you can take both hands behind your head. Feeling the heat through the abdominals, and hopefully maintaining a good neutral alignment of the lower back and your pelvis. You're doing really good, guys. You've got 3 more to go. Last time. Begin to bend in with your knees. Lower one foot down, the other one follows. Return all the way back to the mat from here, and let's walk your feet in closer for a regular bridge. Half sphere tension arms beside you. Lift the hips up, lower the hips down. Really using the entire back side of your leg to help you come up. And let's apply a lot of pressure into the big toe, pinky toe, and your heels. 4 more. 3 more, hips up, hips down. Last 2. We'll stay up on your last one, and let's go back to those leg lifts. Peeling one leg up to tabletop, lower down, swap sides. Peel the left leg up to tabletop, lower down, swap sides. While you maintain a little pressure with your finger pads into the mat, feel your collarbone open wide and the articulation of your foot as we lower down toe ball heel, lifting up heel ball toe. Feeling the support of the stomach muscles. And let's keep this last one lifted. Now begin to extend that left leg straight up to the ceiling, flex the foot, lower the leg down, point the toe and reach. Think of lengthening the back of the leg. Strongly pressing the right foot into the mat. And let's change sides. Bend the left leg in, lower it, peel the right leg up, and repeat for 8. Really stretching the back of the leg up and down, and feeling the left leg supporting you on the floor. Bend the knee in, lower the foot down, articulate your spine all the way down to the mat, and let's turn onto one side, grab a hold of your band, and we're going to place the band around your ankles. Lying onto your side, maintaining a little lift and support from the waistline. Bottom hand can be behind the head for support. Lift the top leg, lower the top leg down. Keeping the pelvis square, and feeling that side leg hip abduction. Keep the leg lifted, hold. From there, you're going to take both legs up, maintain the tension, lower both legs down. You're going to feel both outer thighs and your obliques. Hold it up in pause and begin to scissor the legs. One leg goes back as the other one comes forward, and then switch. Keeping equal tension on the band between the top and the bottom foot. We'll go for 4 more. Lower both legs down, and let's slide the band up higher by your knees. Now I was just working my top leg, my right leg, so I'm going to make sure the band stays underneath my left knee as I come down into the forearms, and then lengthen the right leg out. Now begin by lifting the leg straight up, tapping to the floor. Focusing on the glute action and squaring off with your hips. Keep your next one lifted, and small pulses focus on the leg lifting up. Maintaining your breath to expand across the ribs into your back. And let's go 8 more. Lifting the leg up, we're going to tap wide to the side, lift, cross behind the left leg, and reach. So you're making a big rainbow state sensation with the legs, going from side to across back. You guys are doing really good. Focus on the length with your glute and the fluidity from side to side with your legs. Lift the leg up, return it all the way in, and let's turn around and we'll go to the other side. Slide the band down by your ankles. Lie down onto your side, supporting your head with your hand and really lengthening out with your top hip. Flex the top ankle, lift, lower. If you can see your toes, your head is probably too far forward. So try to pull your head back as the leg comes up and down. Hold the leg up. Now both legs are gonna lift, keeping equal tension on the band as we go up and down. Trying to breathe out as the legs go up. Hold it up, stay, lightly point. One leg reaches back as your opposite leg scissors forward. I like to think every time my leg goes back, I focus on opening more into the front of the hips. Two more each way. And one. Returning again back onto all fours. We'll slide that band back up again by the knees. And now my band's gonna go underneath my right knee, coming down onto the forearms, and lift the left leg. Focus on the lift up, height of the leg to return. Focus on the lift up, lengthening the leg back down towards the floor. Keeping your right thigh as vertical as possible. Keep it up for small pulses. Focus on lifting the leg and think of really opening into the front of the hip. Don't forget the abdominals to pull in for support. And we'll go for 4, 2. Now making the rainbow, we'll reach wide to the side, lift, cross behind, and return. Lifting up high in between each rep. Keeping the abdominals engaged for support of your back. 4 more each way. Cross, behind, side, lift, behind. Last 2. 1. Lift the leg, bend the knee to come all the way in, and let's flip over again onto your back into another bridge. This time the band's gonna slide a little higher by the thigh, above the knee, about middle of the quad. Lying all the way down, arms beside you, find that half sphere tension. Lift up into both hips, press out slightly, return, and drop the hips down. So we go up, open, release, lower, up, open, release, lower. 3 more. Lift up again and pause. Now go back to the alternating march. Lifting the right leg up, returning down. Lifting the left leg up, returning down. Just like we did at the start of the series here, but now you've got a little more tension to work with. And you may have to adjust your band. It might start to slide. Final 2. Now let's keep the left leg lifted up for 1. Now begin to lower the hips down as the left leg lengthens towards the floor. Bend the left leg back to tabletop. We lower the hips, lift the hips, lower the leg, lift the leg. 4 more. Really driving into that right foot into the floor. And let's swap to the other side. Left leg goes down, right leg goes up. We lower the leg, lift the leg. 8 in total. Use that pressure of your left big toe so you maintain the pressure of your left inner thigh. Return back in, lower the foot down, and begin to lift your heels up and down. Try not to lift to your highest tippy toes, but just come up onto the balls of the feet. Keep the heels up, press the legs out, come back in, lower the heels down. Lift the heels, press apart, lower the heels, back down. keep the pattern, and we'll go 4 more repetitions this way. Lift the heels, press out, and lower down. Lift the heels, press out. Last 2. And 1. Lower the heels and articulate the spine as you curl down. Let's lose the band, and we'll grab a hold of your hand weights, getting into some abdominals. So lie down all the way again onto your back. Go back to the anchor, like our anchored bridge, so your knees are bent about 8 to 10 inches from the mat, and apply that pull, pulling the hips and heels towards each other. Reach both arms up to the ceiling, and then back overhead behind you with all of your ribs on the mat. Begin by lifting the arms up, flexing the torso just like the ab prep. Inhale, reach the arms up, and return right back down. Maintaining the pelvis in neutral as we have just a little more added weight of the arms with the weights. Every time you come up, think of increasing the flexion of the upper mid back. Every time you come down, think of lengthening your torso back away from your hips. Return back down and hold with your weights hovered. Let's take one leg to tabletop, engage the abdominals, have the other leg come to meet it. Repeat. 8 in total. If it's okay on the back, maintain that subtle space between your lower back and the floor the entire time. Strongly pressing down into your arms. Two more of these. Hold your last one up and pause. Now from there, I want you to turn the palms to face in towards each other. And as the legs open, we reach the arms to the side, pull the arms and legs to come back in. We open out to the side, pull the arms and the legs back in. If this is too strong on the neck, drop the weights and take your hands behind your head. Breathe in as we open, breathe out as you close. Return back in and hold, lower one weight down. Let's keep one weight into the left hand, drop the torso back. Now as we lift up, you're gonna reach the right leg out straight, left hand comes down beside you, and return back down. You're welcome to take the right hand behind your head for support as we move the opposite arm and leg. Coordinating the upper and the lower body for timing, and connecting every move with the breath. Staying up on your last one, hold for 8. Scissor the legs apart and begin to pass the ball through the legs, going from out to in. Now as we return, we're gonna take the ball into the opposite hand. So that's my right hand. Both legs come in, torso goes down, right arm, left leg reaches. All the way out, return back down. Really feeling those obliques working as we move up and down. Two more. Both legs go in. The weight goes into both hands. Straighten the legs and reach up to the toes. Arms and torso come down. Exhale, reach up to the toes. Arms and torso comes down. If, again, this is too much on the neck, you can also keep the head on the floor throughout. Feel that increased challenge of the abdominals. Hold your next one up, and as you bend your knees, place the ball between the inner part of your thighs. Hands are going to be supported with your head, both toes lower. Lift up, keep squeezing the ball. Breathing out as your legs go down, and breathing in as your legs go up. Keeping the weight between the inner thighs and your hands behind your head for support. As always, you can lower the head down if you need. One more. Lift up. Now let's rotate. Opposite shoulder towards the opposite knee. Return all the way back down in between. Rotate one direction. Return all the way down in between. Keep squeezing the weight between the inner thighs. Consequences if it drops. 4 more. You're doing really good, guys. 1 more. Now grab a hold of the weight, turn over again onto one side, and help yourself up. Now the weight goes into one hand. You're gonna open the top leg up as we go into our side bend. As we lift up and over, we stretch. As you come down, the hips lower. Inhale to lift up, exhale to come down. Use those inner thighs to help you come up. And let's stay up on your last one. And let's hold. You can always bend the bottom knee and start just 8 tricep presses, up and down. You can take your gaze and look wherever you want to. Return all the way back down, and we'll swap sides. Begin with your bottom hand down, your bottom knee onto the floor, hooking into the feet, and here we go. All the way up and over, all the way again back down to the mat. Breathing in to find space up, breathing out to return. As always, if this ball or the weight is too much, you can totally do this without. Staying up on your last one. Hold. Use the inner thighs. Lift and lower the top arm for the triceps. Keeping the palm forward. Hold it up, stay for 8. Return all the way back down. And let's come onto all fours into a plank position. Beginning with your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Feet are apart about hip distance. Curl the toes under and hover the hips and knees from the floor. Tap the knees down. Building up to that leg pull front prep. Strongly connect into the stomach muscles. Lower the knees down. Walk them back a little further, this time with your legs together, like a modified push-up. This time, extend the legs back, tap the knees to the floor. Focus on the inner thighs and the lowest part of your stomach muscles in for support. Keeping the last one lifted, hold. Lift one leg up off the mat, trying to go to hip height. Lower the foot to the floor. Opposite leg lifts up, all the way down. Anticipating that weight shift side to side and starting to feel the mobility and the strength and the heat into the arms and the shoulders. If this is too much on the wrist, you can always come down to the forearms. From there, you're gonna shift your weight back, reaching out straight into the arms, spring yourself forward. Stretch into the shoulders back, springing yourself forwards. Strongly connect the inner thighs. Two more. And come all the way down, lying onto your stomach, going into your foundation training prone decompression. Arms reach forward, inner thighs together, toes curled under. Feel the gentle lift between the elbows and the wrist from the floor. Feel the pressure of your inner thighs pulling in together. And start with deep breaths to expand the mid-back. Releasing any tension through your neck or into your glutes. Sliding your elbows to the side of the body like a goalie post or cactus. Pull down into the lats, widening the collarbone. Float the toes up from the floor. Lengthen into the base of your neck. Foundation training's anchored back extension. Float the arms up. Hold. 5 breaths lengthening the torso. Keeping the wrists and forearms parallel to the ground. Feeling the inner thighs actively working. As you expand and breathe space across your shoulders. Focus on the strength of your upper mid-back extensors and the pressure between the inner thighs. Lowering all the way down, and you're finished. Thank you guys for joining me for this power mat class today. Hope you enjoyed some new fun exercises, and I've got a couple of things in store for you guys, some new programs coming out on the site. This is just a little teaser sample of those. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.